Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of
Cause you don't know football.
Where the Dallas Cowboys have won 4 straight games, and I don't know how this happens.
And Tariq has lost all of his picks from last week, so I'm ready to get into this. He's been dominating me all year with these picks, and this week, you don't know shit.
This is just a weird world here.
This is sports gambling at its finest. This is why I've had to quit 3 or 4 times.
Okay.
And yes, I mean I've started 3 or 4 times.
All right. First and foremost, Timmy, what you got here in terms of this whiskey? What are we drinking here?
I know I found this on the top shelf. I don't know that it is top shelf whiskey, but High West Whiskey, American Prairie Bourbon, baby. It's actually pretty good. First time I've had it. What do you think?
I ain't mad at it, man.
Cheers
to that.
Enjoy.
Let's get it out of the way so we can get to business. When you want something, you can just go grab.
Let's start it. That Tariq is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 picks last week that we made.
I don't appreciate
between
what
straight
you're
up
doing here.
And our spread picks or our betting picks, and he went 0 for 6. 0 for, that is the big goose egg. That is the first time this has happened on our show this year.
No.
How do you feel about this?
Well, I'm glad you used the term goose egg because, you know, when you're a goose and you're in the egg, you're just getting ready to come back out and take over the world again. So that's fine that I put up a goose egg because, you know, it's just a rough week. It's just a rough week all around.
Tariq says he's going to redeem himself this week. Now, look, I'm giving him a little flack here. He's definitely been kicking my ass in this week, but when I went 5-1, I have got to rub it in as much as possible. We don't know how many times this is going to happen.
That's okay. All right, cool. So what happened? So talk to me. Let's run down these games.
Well, we're talking about the Dallas Cowboys, and we'll get into them a little bit later.
We will get into them. I got something to say about them.
Putting a little show on with the Cooper Rush, man. But let's start with the game in London last week, which we both lost. And
what was that?
The Green Bay Packers, I think, are who we thought they were. We talked about it earlier this year that
I thought they were. You said they were going to win a division.
I still think. Well, I guess Minnesota is there, right? Minnesota's looking pretty good, but they might still figure that out. But the Giants, how about them?
Myself,
4 Giants, 4-1. What are we supposed to do with that?
I think we got to start to take this with a grain of salt. I'm still not a believer even after this, and I was bold and like that is not what's going to happen. I didn't think they were going to win. I mean, Daniel Jones looked good. I'm not going to lie to you. Generally, 21 of 27, 217 yards. No touchdowns, no picks though, which is really important. He also had no, he did not. Excuse me. Saquon Barkley had a rushing touchdown. I don't know who Gary Brightwell is, but he had a rushing. And I also don't know who Daniel Bellinger is, but he also had a rushing touchdown. So a really good team win overseas. You know.
I will say what's been impressive about the Giants at the moment is just, I mean, there's not this crazy wide receiving crew. It's not, you know, anything spectacular over here. I mean, Darius Slayton is their number 1 wide receiver.
No, it's Kenny Golladay, and they don't even like him.
But but as of last week, he was there. You know, he had 79 yards receiving. Saquon had 36. But it's really the run game. They've been able to just control the football like wildly enough. Now, I mean, look, we'll see where the Giants end up as far as their season. They had I can't say their schedule has been like incredibly difficult. They beat a Titans team, the Panthers team, both of those teams by a combined 4 points. They lose to the Cowboys in a pretty good game that I was at, beat the Bears, and then beat the Packers. The Packers is, you know, maybe we're just resting on the Packers name and Aaron Rodgers' names right now. And I think the Packers can figure it out still. It's still early, but the Giants, I would really like them to lose as a Cowboys fan. So we have to stop battling for this damn division lead. Between them and the Eagles.
So I don't think so. As somebody who's been hard on Saquon Barkley, I will say I wouldn't say he's an MVP candidate, but he's definitely whatever that next tier is. He's definitely in there, and I think he's had a very good season, and I think he's primarily the reason for this turnaround for the Giants. I'm just curious to see how long it's going to last, because I still don't think it's going to last long.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's see if it keeps going. And then on the other hand, we got the Aaron Rodgers. I think the the loss, the departed.
And it wasn't even Aaron Rodgers' fault. I'm just saying this. That was not Aaron Rodgers' fault.
But the departed Devontae Adams, I think, is starting to show.
Starting to
hurt.
Starting to. You've noticed, huh? He's not there.
I mean, they have a lot of very older veterans and then very young rookies, and it's not coming together for them right now. But
yeah, it's always a interesting combination. It's like basically if we was around a whole bunch of 20-year-olds all the time and saying we have to think the same, and it's like, well, no.
Not gonna happen.
No. So all right, cool. Let's get on to the next game.
You got the Chargers, you got the Browns. So
Chargers
tried to give it away, but they won and it kept me alive on that win.
Let me tell you something. I was ready. Listen, when they went up, when the Browns went up to kick the field goal, I had a text message ready for you. I told you they were going to lose. I was ready for this. He missed the field goal. Okay, so
but the Browns brown.
They dropped some Browns.
I'm still confused on. I understand the whole go for it on fourth down there, and you win the game if you get it. But if you don't, you give them the ball. Give the Browns the ball back inside your own territory. They have to go 15, not even 15 yards to kick a field goal, and they got away with one there, but rough decision.
I don't listen. I've told you already. The Chargers are not going to make the playoffs. Okay, I said it, and I am on that bandwagon, and I'm going to be that guy from here on out. So there we go. So
you're holding on to it.
I'm holding on to it.
See. Well, I think what week is this? It's
like 5.
We're going to week 6, right?
Yeah.
When does for the Browns? When does Watson get back?
12.
Week 12? Okay, never mind. For some reason, I was thinking the 7 game suspension, but that was increased, right? All right, well,
yes.
Enough about that.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, and I mean, looking at the Chargers schedule, just to be fair, they got Broncos, Seahawks, Falcons, 49ers, all winnable games up probably till the 49ers, and then they start to get a little bit, not even. They might.
Well, I'm curious to see. You're when you talk about the Chargers, you say you want the Chargers, right? Yeah. You're talking about what they're gonna do, and there you got these bad teams, and I'm like, yo, some of these bad teams that they should just run through, like that 4-week stretch that you're talking about, like they might go 2-2, and then.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, the Seahawks have been interesting, but and the 49ers, but I think the Broncos and Falcons could be. I think they all could be wins, but you're absolutely right at the same time. They could. I personally still think they make the playoffs. But we'll see.
I'm looking at that Falcons game, and I'm like, I don't.
You think that's where they're going to get tripped up? Not the Broncos or the Seahawks?
Wait, hold on. Let me just tell you. First of all, America, I got to tell you. So, just my personal sports betting nightmares. When I think the Chargers are going to be as good as they should be, and then I bet on it, and that's why I lose. It's the Chargers, man, and I'm trying to tell you. So. They'll find a way out of the playoffs.
That's the Green Bay Packers for me, and some buddies of mine that we're in a Survivor League. Every single time we pick the Packers, we lose. Every single time. Just need a win. Just a win against the Giants this week, and we lose. Right.
See, I just need. I'm telling you, Justin Herbert is wildly talented. He's not dominant, and I think that's the problem. I think that's what I really want to say about him. He's fair. Wildly talented, but he's not dominant.
All right, cool. Let's move on to our Lions-Patriots pick.
No, that's not what you picked.
Excuse me. I'm on the wrong side. Detroit. Where are we at?
The Jets and Dolphins.
Dolphins. Sorry about that. I have my tabs up here.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You got it right. So, and I got it wrong.
Ooh, how about that one? The Jets. I said up here in New York.
Now, can I be fair here? Can we be fair? When I said that,
who the hell is Skylar Thompson?
I mean, if you would have told, all right. So if you'd have told me that not only Tua but also Teddy was going to get knocked out the game with concussions, I mean, what's going on there?
Yeah.
Then I would have said, all right, they're not going to beat the Jets. But as it stands, that guy, what's his name again?
Skylar Thompson.
Skylar came into the game and he didn't do too well. And
yeah, I mean,
and that's what happened.
19 for 33, 166 yards. Through an interception. I mean, Jets have been interesting. I think even with Teddy Bridgewater, I think the Jets, that game would have been interesting. most likely would have been 40-17. But that's still tough to say because the defense didn't lose a quarterback.
But that got blown up at the end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was like 23-17 before, you know what I mean? Before
well, the Jets did score 21 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, like
so, going into the fourth quarter, it was 19-17. So you're absolutely right. It was fairly close until the end.
No, but then I think the Dolphins scored the next touchdown. And then it just like got out of control. So
still,
it got
in my column.
You know what? That's fine. That's fine. All right.
Alrighty, how about it? Let's go to what do we got next?
You know, you're real funny. You see how people act when they win, right?
Well, confident over here, aren't I?
Yeah. Then we actually we both picked the Ravens.
Oh, you did pick the Ravens, so you got to win. Oh shit. All that talk on the offer, you did get a win.
That's right.
You know what's an offer?
In your face.
You know what's an offer?
In your face.
It's an offer me marking that down wrong. I got excited. So you're 1-5, 1-5 and run. Take all that back.
You see, America. He wanted me to be.
The best part about that is I went on that monologue.
I'm glad this happened because without you guys, we would have never caught this. He set me up. He set me up to look bad. Yeah, 1917. I thought this was a really good game, actually. This was a really good game. I mean, Joe Burrow was 24-35, 217, one touchdown, one touchdown, one pick. Not great. But Lamar Jackson was 19-32, 174, one touchdown, one pick. Also not great. So these teams had to come to play, and the Ravens team and Justin Tucker was actually just enough to take this out. I felt like that was going to happen at home.
Yeah, I mean, look, Justin Tucker's he has the most accurate leg of all time, going 4 for 4.
Is he the greatest kicker of all time?
We may have to start going there. Justin Tucker's accuracy is bar none.
I still think whatchamacallit? I can't think of his name right now. It's been a couple years since he's been out of the league. From Patriots and the Colts.
You're going to put me on the spot like that? I got nothing.
Sheesh. I can't believe I'm going to take time out of this show to look up a kicker's name. To look up a kicker's name.
Yeah, no, but so...
Vinatieri. Adam Vinatieri.
I
didn't even have to get there. But Adam Vinatieri.
You know, what was interesting about this game, it was not a barn burner. I mean, Lamar Jackson did what Lamar Jackson did. Had another 58 yards on the ground on top of his 174 passing. But what I was found impressive about Lamar this game was just like he figured out how to win. Made it happen. I mean, had to put them in position to win.
Yes.
I mean, Joe Burrow did the same thing, scoring a touchdown.
This was chess. This game was chess.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Joe Burrow put him up, 17-16? Was that what it was? 17-16 going into the, it's the best you can do with a couple minutes left in the game. Lamar Jackson gets him down there to kick a winning field goal and, call game. And that's what we've been looking for Lamar. I mean, this is what puts Lamar. This is what will put Lamar on that next level, that Peyton Manning, that Tom Brady level, where you're just like, all right, he can win,
he knows how to win.
He's got all the athleticism. He's got an arm. He's throwing from the pocket nowadays too. It's just like putting the ball on target. It's like on target, and then give him the ball at the end of the game, and you're like, all right, I'm good.
Yeah, like think about it like this. Tom Brady, I know we're all looking at him in GOAT status. Nobody through his whole career was like, oh, he's just lighting the league up. He just knew how to win. He would just figure out how at the end of this he was going to get you. And if Lamar Jackson can do that,
yeah. If you that was the thing with Tom Brady. Like if you within the fourth quarter, if they were only down by 14, you never thought they were out of it. And that's the scary part. That's where you're at with Patrick Mahomes. You're like, oh, 14 points? Nope, no problem. He'll come back. That's easy. That's where if Lamar can get himself to that, maybe he's already there. Maybe I'm, missed a few things here. But this game, I think, was one of those like, all right, cool. We're down. I'll figure it out. We'll win. Mm-hmm. I'll get us in position to win. And that's all he needed to do, and he did it. So he's going to get paid the whole bag.
Oh man, he's going to. Y'all listen. Baltimore should have paid him, man. You should have paid him.
The whole bag.
You should have paid him.
All right, let's keep rocking. So, give you that win. Sorry, tried to take it from you earlier.
We did try
but
to.
on to our spread and our betting gambling picks. We'll start with your. Should we just start with your losses?
Boy, you love to start with my. Let's start with my losses. Okay, so I picked Tampa Bay to win by 10, and they won by 6 against the Falcons. And I.
That's the beauty about a spread.
And I was wrong.
You were wrong. Say it again.
I was wrong.
That's the beauty about a spread. Equalizes the betting field.
So then, also I went with the Rams to win by 5.5 against the Dallas Cowboys, and they actually lost 25-10. Was it 25-10 or was it 22-10?
It was 22-10.
22-10. Excuse me. They lost by 12. So I was wrong there as well.
Alrighty then. How about it? I actually went 2-0 on this, which is great. Does not happen often, if ever. Took the Pats -3. This is where I was getting to with my Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions, we've been like on them all year. They are 1-4. Can't seem to win a game to save their,
I mean, I didn't say
lives.
they were going to beat all these teams. I said they were going to be in the game. Now this one they were not. But
No, you're absolutely
they're
right.
still going to be that team for me.
I mean, look, when we look at their games, I mean, they lost by 3, won by 10, lost by 4, lost by 3, lost by 29 to, what was his name? Zappy?
My man Zap.
Bailey Zappy. Don't even know where he came from, but
Senior Zap.
all right, cool. So I took that. Again, I'll take any luck I can get on this one. And then the last one, Tampa Bay and Atlanta. I dropped that little knowledge bomb on you that Tampa Bay had not had, I think it was one game, like over 30 points in the entire season this year. And that was against Kansas City the week before. And ended up coming under. So I actually don't have the over-under here, but I think their total came in at about 36 or 37 last week. And take that one down.
Definitely.
You know what the best part is? Did not have the cojones to actually put bets on any of these picks. So benefit from none of it.
You don't trust yourself. You don't trust yourself. All right, ain't nothing wrong with that. All right, cool. So that was last week in the books. All right, so this week I want to start off with a little segment. Who is your biggest surprise team? So I know who I think about when I'm going to say this, but who's your biggest surprise?
Yeah, I've been thinking about this one a bit. I had a couple. I really freaking hate saying this. So there's, of course, both of them are in the NFC East. So the one I'm going to go with is the Giants at 4-1. I think it's absolutely wild. I think the other one that I was thinking, the other one I was thinking about here is the Eagles at 5-0. Again, they've looked good. I hate saying that they definitely look good, but we thought they were going to be good. And I think we talked about this before. Their schedule, let me pull it up here. Not necessarily the most daunting. I mean, they did beat the Vikings 24-7. The Cardinals, who we thought were going to be better this year, they just aren't. And the Cardinals had a chance to tie that game late last week. But they had their kicker was on a practice squad on October 4th.
I feel like all the kickers. I feel like all these kickers were like outside of Baltimore's kicker. All these kickers are like really iffy.
So, yeah, that one was rough. But I look, I think the Giants, we just talked about them earlier, so we won't go too much into them. But 4-1, Saquon Barkley, he's healthy right now. That offensive line has shored themselves up for it, at least now. Like, they're playing well. Daniel Jones has been managing football games. My roommate calls him the White Michael Vick. I don't know. I don't know where that came from, but I feel like every time I look up, Daniel Jones is on the move again. Not quite as athletic or as fast, but he doesn't seem. He's making it work.
That's a lot for Daniel Jones. I'm just gonna say that's a lot for Daniel Jones. Yeah, so I'm not as surprised about the Eagles only because I did think they were going to win the division. I expected them to be pretty good. I don't know if I expected them to be 5-0, but I mean, if they were less than 3-2, then that would be way more shocking than the fact that they're 5-0. My surprise team, actually, America.
He's gonna do it.
I'm a little sad today.
He's gonna do it. I love it.
My surprise team is the Indianapolis Colts.
Oh,
because
struggle bus.
when did we get so bad? Like, I'm not quite understanding when we were like, all right, we're just like not good, you know? Especially because our defense is like top 12. So like, it's like right outside of like a top 10 defense. So it's top 12 defense and we suck. I mean, our offense is so bad. It's so bad. And when you look at our offensive line, it's like, I think they ranked our offensive line in terms of performance. It was like the worst offensive line in the NFL. And then Matt Ryan is just...
yeah, I mean, this is... You were a little high on Matt Ryan, weren't you?
I
think I was too on Matty Ice.
So, the only thing that I can say positively about Matt Ryan right now is that Atlanta paid his salary, and I actually, if it was somebody that I wanted more than Matt Ryan, it was Russell Wilson, and we would have had to give stuff up, and we actually convinced Atlanta to pay for Matt Ryan. So the only good thing I can say about Matt Ryan is that his salary is actually not on our books. So that says a lot. But that still is like, he still might be underperforming still.
You know, I mean, I was just looking here whether performance or not a go here, but Matt Ryan is 6 in passing yards this year.
Yeah, but like
just under 1,400.
Look at his interceptions. Look at his completion percentage.
No, we're going to get that. Well, his completion percentage is not terrible at 65.6%, but 5 TDs and 7 picks. That one's tough.
So he has more picks than
he leads the league in picks, tied with Matthew Stafford, which... All right, perfect. This was the stat I was looking for.
There it is, America. He's tied for the lead league in interceptions.
Maybe that's why your defense is having some... or your defense is giving up points because it can't...
we would probably be like top 5 if we didn't have to just like stop teams from our own 20.
Yeah, that was tough.
Yeah, so that's what that is.
Most surprised team. I know you were talking about going it that way, but I wasn't too sure if you were going to land there. I'm happy you did, and you've, come to realize that the Colts are...
I am shocked at this, America. So it is what it is. You know, we'll see. I mean, I didn't take them out of the playoff picture yet, because. I still. I mean, I like if this is the bottom and where we could be 3-2 if our kicker, who we cut, doesn't miss a kick in overtime in which we tie. We could be 3-2, but we also could be 0-5 too. You know, so like I don't know. This is the bottom, and it can't get worse from here.
We talked about this last week as well. There's a big bunch right now in that 3-2, 2-3. Like there's so many teams in that area.
Guess who's in the middle with a tie?
The Colts.
Go ahead, finish what you were saying.
No, I completely I get it. It's all right, cool. On to this week. Where are we headed now?
All right, let's see our games for this week. I got some stuff to say because I know what games we about to pick.
So I think we're going. Let's just take them in order, I guess.
All right, let's see. Just take them in order and how they come up online. That'll be easy enough. So first ironically, we got to go.
Got to talk about it.
Well, first of all, hold on. Before we get to that, we really don't want to. We talked about this. We really don't want to spend too much time on this Commanders Bears game.
Oh Jesus! I thought we were just gonna skip it.
I didn't even watch it. So I'm gonna just be honest. I didn't even watch it.
I forgot it was on. Tough. You know, the only thing I was going to talk about today didn't happen is like I don't know. I mean, I don't pay attention this much, but if the Commanders had lost last night, and they still may be, but is Ron Rivera on the hot seat now?
I don't see how he can be. Only because when he got there, he inherited what he inherited. His team has been too good to go down and get a real quarterback. And I think this roster, if it had a quarterback, would be a scary roster to see. So, I mean, I don't see how you can look at what he's done and say he's failed or underachieved. That's my opinion.
I wanted to. Did you hear his quote this week about Carson Wentz? Someone asked him about why they weren't performing very well compared.
No, I didn't.
Compared to other teams, you don't have to. Don't quote me on exactly what it was, so you have to find it. But they asked him why they're not performing as well as the other teams in the NFC East, and he just straight up said quarterback. They have established quarterbacks. What I think he meant was
I feel as though I said that exact answer to you earlier in the summer.
What he was saying was like they have established quarterbacks that they've built teams around, and like we're still figuring out Carson Wentz. But the way it was interpreted, it was like we have Carson Wentz and they have better quarterbacks.
Let me just say, as someone who's had Carson Wentz as their starting quarterback, Ron, I'm on your side, and I understand what you're saying and what you're going through, and I don't think you're the problem. So bad.
All right, perfect. That's probably the most we'll spend about talking about the Commanders for the rest of the season. So
gotcha. Now moving on.
Game we didn't want to have to talk about him last week, but we got to talk about him again.
I think we have to talk about him. The Ravens are going to be in New York to play the Giants.
I'm going to be
4-1 Giants.
I'm going to be there.
You're going to be there?
Going, baby. How about it? You know, for being a Cowboys fan, I go to a lot of Giants games because of being in this area.
I mean, it is right there. I mean, you know.
20 minutes. Well, I'd say 20 minutes. Yeah, 20-minute ride from here where we're at right now. So.
Is it 20?
Yeah. 20, 25, depending on traffic. I did go the other night when I went.
Act like you from where we're from and get there in 15.
You know, the other night when we went to the Cowboys event, it took us almost an hour and a half. It was crazy. It's 12 miles from where we're sitting right now.
Yeah, I bartended last year when the Jets beat the Titans, and that took a long time. I was like, I should have just took the train.
I should have just took. Yeah, exactly. Right. So this game, the only reason this is interesting is you got the 4-1 New York Giants at home. And we just talked about our surprise team. They're playing well. They're playing against the Baltimore Ravens, who we also just talked about. Lamar Jackson's about to get paid.
Yes.
And he is about to,
he's been
able to win games.
What
will be telling for me, what'll be interesting is how this game plays out. And that's why I wanted to talk about it, because if the Giants keep it close, I fully expect the Ravens to win.
Mm-hmm.
It could be by a huge, wide margin. Like, I think we're probably both going the Ravens. I think Lamar Jackson's going to have himself a field day because he does those things. But I'll be very shocked. I'm very interested to see if the Giants are able to, one, contain Lamar Jackson, and then two, keep him off the field long enough that they're able to keep it close by just running the ball and, you know, controlling the clock. Like, coming from an offensive lineman, that was what we wanted to do all the time. If I'm on the field, the other team's most likely not scoring unless, you know, of course, a defensive touchdown, but they're not scoring. And as our, so we'll see where this goes, and I'll be very interested again to see if the Giants are able to keep this close, picking the Ravens, but maybe we'll have to actually start talking about the Giants as a contender.
Mm-hmm. Right. No shocker here. As you saw me, I was doing other things as he was saying that. I'm gonna go with the Ravens also. I think you just got to start to see at certain points, the better team, and I think better teams win even if they go on the road. And I like teams that can run the ball well and can play defense, and I think that's the Ravens' MO. And I think they also have a better quarterback too, a far better quarterback.
That's not a thought. That's a fact.
So unless Saquon Barkley is gonna go like rush for like 150, 175 yards, I don't really think that they have a chance in this game. So
you said that you balked at me saying this last week.
I did, and I'm doubling down. And I'm doubling down. No belief here, okay? No belief.
All right, that's fair enough. I also do not believe they win this game. I think the Ravens show us who we thought the Ravens were and are the team, one of the top teams over there in the AFC, but we'll see what the New York Giants can do. All right, cool. Let's move on to a couple other...
I did balk, though.
you rolled your eyes at me when I said, let's talk about the Green Bay Packers and the New York Giants
in London. He's not lying.
All right. I think there's 2 games of the week, right? 2. But let's go to the next one on the actual schedule with the AFC teams here. The Buffalo Bills
Carolina Panthers and the Seattle Seahawks. No, I'm just playing. I'm only playing. That's not what we're talking. That's not the game of the week. All right, go ahead. Let's talk serious now.
Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. This
is going to be.
You know what's very surprising?
Bananas.
I'm looking at the matchup predictor, and this is probably more due to I think the Bills' injuries, but the Chiefs are predicted to win this game by 62%, so 62-38 right now.
There's reasons behind it.
Sure,
it's because in this matchup, Chiefs have owned this matchup. Now I am actually on the bandwagon that the Bills got hosed in the playoffs because I'm like that if that just wasn't fair. However, if we're just going on wins and losses, the Chiefs have dominated this matchup.
Yeah. I guess clearly in recent years, definitely have. I'm looking here. Oh wow! So, is this saying the Bills' offense is number 1 in the rush? Wow, yeah.
Are they number 1 in rushing?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm reading this stat right now correctly, but maybe this is just last week. I'd have to look that up, but I think this again is an absolute going to be an incredible juggernaut type game. This could be scary on points.
Yeah, you don't know where this is going to go.
Like there might be 70 points scored in this game. I'll be very interested to see that point because I know the Bills played the Steelers last week, but they're banged up and put up 38 on them. Like that's pretty ridiculous. And the Kansas City Chiefs are good for like a 40 spot any single day they play. Yeah, put 30, 41, pretty crazy. What's the over under on this? I kind of got to see this too.
I think it's like 1.5 is going to be close like that.
The spread is?
Yeah.
The Bills are favored by 2.5 points in this game.
The Bills are favored on the road?
On the road. And the over-under is at 54. All right, well, let's hear it. I want you to go first.
Okay.
I don't know where I'm going.
I just heard that was actually pretty telling. I'm sorry, I'm sticking with Kansas City. I kind of sometimes you have to admit this. In sports betting, they put like things out there to get people to bite. Just to basically say, okay, so they don't have to pay you, all of this money. I kind of see this. I'm the type of person you got to beat who's beating you. So if you're gonna go into there like they've beaten you time and time again, and you're gonna go into their home and you're favored, like they're gonna feel disrespected about that. Kansas City, like that's the bulletin board material right there. Like you're just disrespected who's beating you all the time, and until you go in there and beat them in that kind of situation, I'm sticking with
Kansas City. Oh. Just for I'm so torn, but I'm gonna go Bills. I think our MVP preseason, Josh Allen, my buddy in California, is gonna hate me. He's a Chiefs diehard fan, but my bad, Sean. But Buffalo Bills all the way. I think Josh Allen pulls this off. I think part of it is what we'll be interested in is I'm trying to look up these stats right now, but
like the Chiefs defense is even better than I would have thought.
Yes, but they also gave up 29 to the Las Vegas Raiders last week, right? Is that the stat I'm looking at? So yes. I think they gave up 29 to the Raiders last week. Gabe Davis had himself a day.
The Chiefs are 9th in defense.
Not Gabe Davis. Devontae Adams had himself a day last week. So what I'm saying is Gabe Davis and that team, what's his name? Stephon Diggs, got ourselves some possibilities to light it up. But I think it's going to be a barn burner. I'm putting it up here now. Put it down over 54 in this game. Put it down as my spread pick. I'm putting it down now. Now I'm just looking at that. It's going to be 12-6. I'm going to hate myself. But we're going to go Bills on the win, just straight up. I'm taking that over 54. Put it down 54 so we don't forget it. Yep. Cool. Wow, that's pretty good.
All right. Well, your next segment's in
So I'm gonna revert back to my losing ways.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate this matchup predictor.
So
you know where we got to go with this one.
So let's go to the next game.
We got to go with this one. Sunday night
Cowboys at
I might
Eagles.
go to this game as well. Do you think I can go from the MetLife Giants-Ravens down to Philly for a Sunday night game against the Cowboys?
I mean, you can.
Should I? That's probably a terrible idea.
I mean, if I had the abilities, I would. I don't. Timmy's got. That just lets y'all know Timmy's doing very well in life, and I want you all to know what I know it, and I see it every day. But Timmy's doing very well in life.
That is subjective.
And he might go to two different games in the same day.
You know how I'll be doing very well Sunday night? The Cowboys kicking some.
I don't even know why it took this long.
Eagles ass. Let's go. Let's go.
All right, I got some things to say about this. Do you have more to say about this?
No, that's it. That's it. This is just a fanhood coming out. I don't even have any stats other than the Cowboys' defense are crushing people. Micah Parsons is going to, if he can catch Jalen Hurts, it's going to be a wild time. But let's go. Let's hear your stats. You told me you had a bomb, a little knowledge bomb to drop on me today.
All right. So I asked Timmy during the week. I said, "Is there a quarterback controversy in Dallas?" He said no, because Dak is paid $40 million. So for me, so what I have to say is, okay, you got to also understand there's no quarterback controversy with a quarterback that's just won 4 straight games, right? 4 straight games. You guys beat you just beat the Super Bowl champions in LA.
The Super Bowl runner-ups.
No, they won the Super Bowl, the Rams.
Oh, no, keep going. But we also beat the Super Bowl runner-ups.
Okay, I was getting there. You beat the Commanders, okay.
Yeah, they
fine.
didn't matter.
But then you're the only team to beat the Giants this year.
How about it?
And then you beat the Super Bowl runner-ups. So what I'm saying is, when these are
and
all...
the game we lost, Dak was in.
If you would have told me you would have won 4 straight games with a backup quarterback, I would have said... Hell no.
Can I actually tell you? I texted.
Don't say Dak Prescott. God damn it, Timmy!
That would be a different lifestyle, right?
You just have it good.
No, so I texted the guys that all the high school buddies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Group chat, told them I'm going to the Cowboys-Eagles game at the end of the year. This was right after Dak got hurt off the week 1. I'll be in Dallas for that game, and I got a response from one of those guys. The Cowboys may not win another game while Dak's out. And now they're 4-0 with Dak.
I understand. So this is what I'm saying.
That was an Eagles fan, by the way.
This is what I'm saying. If there's no quarterback controversy,
It still doesn't matter.
There's a backup and there's somebody getting paid $40 million. The Dallas Cowboys have to go to the NFC Championship game.
Yeah. Well,
you beat the 2 teams that were in the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah.
With your backup quarterback. Listen, no. Dallas has to go to the NFC Championship game at least. Now when Dak comes back. Because he ain't playing this game. Listen, all right, so long story short, I'm picking the Eagles this week. Because, not because I think they're going to sweep them, not because all that blah, blah, blah. I just think something's got to come down. However, if Dallas wins this game, I'm going to... This time next week, if Dallas wins this game, I'm going to be the first one on the bandwagon to say Dak. I don't want to see Dak anymore.
I don't know if you're in Texas. They might have already moved on. To be completely fair,
I don't want to see Dak anymore.
If the Cowboys win this game and Cooper Rush does, plays reasonably well, doesn't do anything stupid, which he'll need to do and hasn't done to win this game, there may be an actual quarterback controversy. I think
that's already started. That's why I asked you that question.
It started. I think that's where you can really start talking about it. If he does win this game, if he loses this game, Dak wants him to lose this game.
Of course, Dak. No.
Because as soon as Cooper Rush loses, Dak's back in.
Dak Prescott might as well buy himself an Eagles jersey for this week.
Yeah,
because he needs Cooper Rush to lose the game. The controversy to me has already started.
Yeah.
I do not think the Cowboys are 4-1 if Dak Prescott is the quarterback.
That's a fair point and question.
I think Cooper Rush did things that I'm talking about fundamentally was just Dak Prescott wouldn't have done that.
I mean, but let's be real. as much as we want to make it about Dak and Cooper Rush, it's really about this defense. This defense.
That's what I'm saying. How you have a Super Bowl defense? You have 2 running backs. Like I told you, I'm actually a fan of teams that don't have a top 5 wide receiver. Yeah. So the fact that you don't have a top 5 wide receiver, I think, is actually in your favor. However, once Cooper Rush said, "I'm going to be who won the Super Bowl and who was the runner-up, and not going to lose a game that I get a whole week to prepare for," I don't think Dak would have done the same thing. So I think there's already a quarterback controversy, and I'm saying when Dak comes back already, Dallas has to go to the NFC Championship game now. When Dak comes back, they have to. However, if Dallas beats the Eagles this week, I think Dak's career as a starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys are over, barring a Cooper Rush injury. Did you realize I got it right this time? Because remember the first time I said Cooper Kupp, and I said, "Can you blame me?" And now I'm like,
his name.
No, what you're doing? I can't deny it. So that's what I got to say about that.
Look, I don't think you're wrong. If they win this week and Cooper Rush is, looks like he has, right? He's a game manager. He's able to throws a nice ball.
No, he's not a game. You beat who was the 2 teams in the Super Bowl. You are not a game manager if you beat the 2 teams in the Super Bowl in the same season.
Fair. But we'll see. I agree with you. I still think the Cowboys will revert back to, but I don't know. I mean, they gave Dak to. We talked about Tony Romo.
Can we just be fair? You have to say Dallas is going to win.
Oh, Dallas is definitely winning.
You have to say that.
I don't have to say it. I am convinced of it. My fanhood is convinced of it.
Why do you hate Dak Prescott so much, man? That's what I got to say down.
I do not hate Dak Prescott.
Well, if you're right.
Well, I've said this before. I think on
this show. Did it to Tony Romo, and now it's happening.
That's where I was just going with that. Tony Romo got pushed out real fast off that preseason injury. Just done. See you later.
Yeah.
So, all right, man. That's we got to go to our spread picks. So for our straight ups, I got the Ravens, Bills, and Dallas, and you got the Ravens, KC, and Eagles. And then I already made one of my over under picks. Bills, KC over 54. The game's definitely turning into a 13-point game. Defenses are going to come to play that game just because I picked it already. But cool. Where are you going first with yours?
Where I'm going first, Minnesota is favored by 3.5, and I'm taking that.
Minnesota
over the Dolphins.
That's a nice pick. I actually kind of like that. We may not even get Teddy Bridgewater this week. Most likely not. I don't think anymore with these concussion protocols that anyone's going to be allowed back into.
Did you see what happened to Tua? Like, that's like a video. There's a video of, you're going to sit down for a couple weeks right now, Pimpin.
Yeah. And then, the Minnesota Vikings are, they're 4-1. They've played reasonably close games, though. Mm-hmm. Like, this is crazy. Their last 3 games beat the line 28-24. I picked them -3 against the Saints. They won by 3. And then last week they won by 7, which is, it's against the Bears. But we'll see. The Dolphins just got smashed. Yeah. So we'll see if they come.
I understand, but as of right now, the Dolphins' starting quarterback is some guy named Skyler. And I'm looking at that 3.5. I'm shocked it's not higher.
I know where I'm going here.
All right, give me your second pick.
This is going to be bad. Hold on, give me 1 second. I just need to look at something here. Take a quick look. I'm locking in, I think, on... Oh, that one's not too bad. You know where I'm locking in on? I think this is going to be an interesting one right now because this team can't figure themselves out. The Jets plus 7.5 at Green Bay. The Jets plus 7.5. I don't think the Jets are going to be any sort of contenders, but they've won 2. They just put a beating down on Miami Dolphins. I think they're going to, at a minimum, they've played relatively well. They've played 2 close games, one against They beat the Dolphins. They played a close game against the Steelers. The Bengals did get them. Beat the Browns. I think Green Bay is not all they're chalked up to be. I mean, the Green Bay Packers they beat the Bears, which isn't a good team. They barely beat the Bucs. They barely beat the Patriots, who have had some struggles, and then they lost to the Giants last week. So my point about that is, while the Green Bay Packers may win this game, I just don't know that they'll put 7.5 is a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Plus, I got the hook, right? So you can win by 7.
That's a lot.
Win the game 21-14. I don't care. I got that hook. So that's what I'm talking about in betting. So I'll take that. Cool.
All right. I'm actually going to shock you here.
Let's hear it.
I'm going to go Chargers to beat the Broncos by 4.5.
Coming around.
No,
not on the Chargers.
No. This is a division rival at home.
We're giving up our man Russ.
Well, you can't. Once again, you can't expect two good division rivals to sweep. You can't. Somebody's going to lose. You lose one, you win one. That's just normally how it happens. But the Chargers right now, I just think they're home. And also the Broncos wide receiver core, they basically have one wide receiver right now. They gotta get some wide receivers back. So I don't think they're gonna win this one. So I'm gonna go with them. Chargers -4.5.
Yeah, plus the Broncos barely scored points against anyone last week. I mean, your Colts.
I'm actually curious. What was the worst game? The Broncos Colts game or this Commanders Bears game?
You know what? It's a win for all of us that these games have been terrible, because the fact that I have to log in, I mean, I have Amazon Prime, but just give me fucking Thursday Night Football back. Get it off of Amazon Prime. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, NFL football, and it was take me to Amazon. I was like, this is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. I think last night's game was just brutal. Maybe because it's just more fresh in my mind. The game before that was brutal as well. But at least you got to see,
I tend to agree. I think last night's game was a little worse.
Those two teams, the Commanders and the Bears, just cannot. They're just such terrible.
That was pretty bad.
Teams right now. I feel bad for Fields. He's got so much talent in the world, and
I'm actually shocked the Bears are even as good as they are right now, and that's not saying a lot because they're not very good.
I mean, they're 2-3. They're 2-4.
I'm shocked.
Not very good.
I thought they'd be 0-5. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
They did beat the 49ers in that.
They did in that
Mud Bowl.
Yeah, I remember that. And they couldn't even throw the ball and everything. That was shocking, but it's the highlight of their year.
All right.
Good for you, Chicago. All right.
Cool. I think that's it. 3 games this week. I think we're going both 5-0. Yeah,
because the other ones I don't care about. Oh, just in a little caveat. Listen, Colts, can we? I just don't believe anything. We talked about. This is actually a plea. This is actually a plea. Me and Tim was talking. He was like, "Well, the Colts, Jacksonville." I'm like, I'm not even shocked we're not gonna get blown out. Colts, can we?
This is going to be that's going to be an interesting game. I know we weren't prepared to talk about it, but with Jacksonville losing to the Texans last week and the Colts beat the Chiefs at some point and they coming off a win last week, I don't know what's going to happen in this game. I was pretty high on Jacksonville until they lost to the Texans last week.
Colts, we need this. Can we, please? Please.
Oh, man.
Okay, but I guess with that's pretty much going to do it for this week.
Cool. Another episode in the books.
Once again, I'm Tariq.
And I am Tim.
Telling him.
Let's go Cowboys. Because
you don't know football.
I'm all jacked up on this one.
My man. Later, y'all.